Hi, today we're going to review all the things we know about measuring length in the metric system. Just to review, there are some unit words we know that measures length. Kilometers is the largest and it's worth 1,000 meters. If we were going to measure a kilometer, it would go from our school to about the bottom of the hill, turn right to the light at the cemetery. That's about a kilometer. A hectometer is 100 meters and it goes from the front door of our school to maybe JJ's or maybe even across the street. That's about a hectometer. A decameter, abbreviated DKM, you could spell it both ways, is about 10 meters and it's about the size of our classroom from the windows to the wall behind Mrs. Thomas's desk. A meter is just one, and it would be about a little more than 3 square tiles on our floor or at the floor at Walmart. A decimeter is 1/10 of a meter. That means 10 equal parts, and it goes from the knot or the bump on your wrist to the end of your pinky. If you have a smaller hand, then it probably goes to the end of your ring finger from the bump. A centimeter is 1/100th. That means 100 equal parts of a meter, and it's about the width of your fingernail. And a millimeter is 1/1000th of a meter. That means it's broken up into 1,000 equal parts, and it's about the size, the width of a dime, the side of a dime. So, what I want to talk about today is how you figure out how to equivalency, how many meters are equal to how many kilometers, and so on. Just like we have in US, we talk about 12 inches equals 1 foot and how 3 feet equals 1 yard. They also do equivalency. They have this kind of table here, and I've been making the table for you in some way or another all along. And so some things they do, they use the table to help them figure out how many meters are in something. So for instance, let's look at this problem below. It says 1 kilometer, km is the abbreviation for kilometer, equals blank meters. Well, if we fill it in 1 kilometer, and if we fill it all the way in until we get to meters, because that's what we're trying to figure out, with zeros, sort of like the place value chart a little bit. The number that you see here is 1,000. That is how many meters are in 1 kilometer. So the right answer here is 1,000. It's just as easy as filling in the chart. Here you see 1 meter. Wants to know how many centimeters equal 1 meter. So I know that I'm looking for 1 meter, so I'm going to go to meter and write 1. And then I'm going to go make zeros all the way until I get to a centimeter, which is cm. And that got me to 100. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Then we have 1 meter equals blank millimeters. Well, again, we're going to go to the meters counter. Again, I would go to the meters column and write 1, and I would fill in with zeros until I got to millimeters. So then it's easy to see that 1,000 is the number. So in 1 meter is the same as 1,000 millimeters. Now, this can also work the opposite way. And I'm going to erase what I have here just so I can show you. It's a little bit different because once I start going left, just like with our number line, just like the it starts to get a little bit smaller if I try to convert the other way or change it in the other way. So this says 1 meter is how many kilometers. So if I take my table and I put 1 at the meters and I want to go this way, my numbers are going to get smaller. So I'm going to fill in with zeros. And I like to think of it as 1,000 backwards. If I'm doing 1,000 backwards, then it's kind of negative. I'm 1/1000th, and that's with a TH, of a kilometer. That means out of 1,000 meter sticks, I have 1. So 1 meter is equal to 1/1000, one equal piece of 1,000 meters for kilometers. Same thing for centimeters. I can go to centimeters. 1 centimeter equals blank meters. So if I put a 1 in the centimeters column and I make zeros all the way until I get to meters, I see a backwards 100. So centimeter is 1/100th. That means that 1 centimeter is 1 equal parts out of 100 equal parts of 1 meter stick. 1 decimeter equals blank. So if I go to the decimeter column and I put a 1, and then I fill it in with zeros until I get to what I'm looking for, I see a backwards 10. So 1 decimeter is 1/10 of a meter. So I would need 10 decimeters to equal a meter. I would need 100 centimeters to equal a meter. I would need 1,000 meters to equal a kilometer, which is the same thing this is kind of saying over here. So hopefully using the table will help you be able to figure it out. We'll do more of this tomorrow, but I will ask you some practice questions today.